pay attention to the comments. The meeting is being recorded, so if you would like a copy, just let me know.
Okay, doke.
Okay. And let's see. This meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Hello, audience, and welcome to Let's Chat Dallas. Today, we are so pleased to be joined by Tamika and Stormy Knights, and also Tamika and Stormy, of course, are the producers of the Behind Closed Doors series. If you guys remember that, now they have this great production coming out called Behind Bedroom Doors, and it's a lip sync production. We're going to definitely get into that. And we have our very special guest, Jan Edgar Langbein of the Genesis Women's Shelter. So we're so excited to be talking to her. But as you guys know, we always start out with a spiritual message, okay? And so today our spiritual message comes from two places in the Bible. First is Psalm 61, 3-5. You have been my refuge, a tower of strength against the enemy. I would like to be a guest in your tent forever and to take refuge under the protection of your wings. Selah, O God, you have heard my vows. You have given me the inheritance that belongs to those who fear your name. The second verse comes from Psalm 119, 114-117. You are my refuge and my shield. I put my hope in your word. Away from me, you evildoers, that I may keep the commands of my God. Sustain me, my God, according to your promise, and I will live. Do not let my hopes be dashed. Uphold me, and I will be delivered. I will always have regard for your decrees. So those are the verses from our spiritual message today. And we know there are times when we need somewhere to run to and somewhere to hide, somewhere to heal. And God has put angels in the midst of us, like Jan Edgar Langbein and the Genesis Women's Shelter. We've heard of you guys for years, at least I have. Okay, I've looked you up before. And the Genesis Women's Shelter is a place for such a time as needing a refuge. So welcome, Jan, to Let's Chat.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And we are so delighted for you to join us here today. And Jan, I'm going to give you the floor. I just want you to give us a little bit of information on Genesis Women's Shelter.
Oh.
Just come in your own way.
Yeah, our name says shelter, but it is actually a full service response for women and children who are victims of domestic violence. Again, it says women, but the majority of our clients actually are children who watch and live and learn as they see their moms being terrified and their dads being terrifying. But we have been here for almost 40 years. We started with an emergency shelter, but you know, sometimes that's a real hard thing to commit to. A lot of people won't go to a shelter. A lot of people are fearful of what it looks like or where it is, or can I be found, or is it safe there, or would my children want to go there? And so as much as we can without revealing the location, it's a safe place for everybody. We try to get pictures out and the word out, and it's a kind place, and it's a gentle place, and it's a safe place, and it's a child-friendly place, and it's a place without expectations. We're not asking anyone who comes there to pay us. We're not asking anyone who comes there to divorce or get out of the relationship. Instead of saying, I can fix you, what we say is, tell me what's happened and we will walk beside you. So Genesis has an emergency shelter, if you think in terms of like the emergency room of a hospital, but we also have transitional housing where if 4 to 6 weeks is not long enough, you can apply to move into our transitional housing where the stay is up to a year. No cost, no strings attached for any of our services. But even though, again, our name says shelter, the majority of our work is non-residential. We recognize that only about 7 or 8% of women who are assaulted will ever go to a shelter for whatever reason. So we want to be sure we're responding to that other 91, 92%. And so we have a non-residential office where you could still receive the same counseling and information and referral and help for your children, a food box if you need it, and access to civil legal representation, or just a conversation to know wait, it's not illegal, it is illegal, or what if I'm not documented, or all the things that I need a new pair of glasses, all the things we can do with our through our advocacy program. And that is for people who either haven't left or they've left and they have other residential resources. So what we've created is this full service response that is a continuum of care. Let's say somebody responds to my neighborhood and the police officer, I'm assaulted, the police officer comes and he ends up taking me to Genesis. Well, maybe that's how I start. Or maybe I saw this program and I heard this program and I thought, wait, there is help for me. And I start at the non-residential office and then shore up my strength to go into the shelter. It doesn't matter to us. Whatever help she needs, we stand ready for that.
Wow, that sounds wonderful and very comprehensive. I know in leaving a situation like that myself, I've just slept in my car that night.
Yeah.
But, you know, and you have women that are out there like that, that, you know, find themselves in a situation where they need to go somewhere that is not judgmental, that's not gonna, you know, blame the victim.
Right.
Me too. I've done it too. When I left did the same episode and went back 2 weeks later, you know, and then, you know, finally I was able to, you know, come to my senses.
We understand that. We really do. We know why women go back. We know why they don't leave. And maybe it takes, you know, a couple of times, because hopefully when you do go back, he's on his best behavior. It'll never happen again. Oh, I bought you this gift, or whatever his sorry stories are. We'll go to church. I'll help you be a more godly wife, or whatever. It goes on and on. But we know why we go back. We go back for the children. We go back because he promised it'll never do it again. We go back because, you know what, I love the guy. I mean, I think all of us have probably known a guy who wasn't the best guy for us, but there was still something that we excused and we let pass and we got over, thinking this was the love of my life. But we don't judge at Genesis. You know, another thing with that, I talked about it just a smidge, but I do want the audience to know that religious beliefs and maybe misunderstandings of scripture actually can perpetuate the abuse. Yeah. Very few pastors, very few priests or faith leaders have had any training on this. And so when my husband says, you know, you need to go pray about this, or you need to go to the pastor about this, maybe the pastor says, you know, go home and read Ephesians 5. And not just all of Ephesians 5, but just the submit part to Ephesians 5. Right. You know, when we talk about being a Proverbs 31 wife, or Jesus suffered, so I must suffer. Jesus doesn't want this for us. Right. He doesn't think a marriage is one of abuse where one person has control over another. And no matter what your theology is, whether your relationships are complementarian or authoritarian, whether I feel like I can talk straight to God or I have to talk to my husband who talks to God, that's not the point of it. The point of it is, I think it makes Jesus cry. I think it makes Jesus cry when somebody breaks the covenant of, I will take care of her, I will cherish her, I will honor her. And so unfortunately, however, there are folks who, you know, get bad advice or no advice at all. We see abuse in clergy families. That is, yeah, he preaches the word of God on Sunday and then he beats her Monday through Saturday. And I think there is a very, very special place for him when it's all over. You know, there's no excuse in that to God when you get there. But, you know, for a woman who is a first lady and is sitting on that front row and has her hat designer and her dress designer and everybody's looking to her and even coming to her with her problems, how can she possibly say this man beats me? How can she possibly say that? So anyway, we do know that spiritual abuse and financial abuse and physical abuse and sexual and verbal and emotional, even COVID, we've seen in the past few months how he will not allow her to wear a mask to the grocery store, or will cough in her face, threatening her, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to cough in your face and give you COVID. So
that's just evil.
Right? It's yes, thank you. Yes, absolutely. So we do recognize that this isn't, we refer to an equal opportunity epidemic. It happens in the most affluent parts of Dallas and the poorest parts of Dallas. We do know, however, as we begin having wonderful conversations about systemic racism and the impact within the Black community, we know that women of color, particularly Black women, experience domestic violence at 35% higher than white women do. We want to respond in the right way. We don't want to look like we've got all the answers. We want to know where women are and what we can do, but we want women to know they're not alone, wherever they live and whatever ethnicity they are.
So with your counseling and therapy, do you have a lot of women that might suffer from something, well, definitely depression, but like post-traumatic stress? I mean,
oh, absolutely.
With the enemy.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. The trauma, we hear a lot of women say, you know, he raped me. But what happened after that was worse than the 15 minutes of the actual assault, or the mind games he plays, or the gaslighting we live with, the emotional and the verbal spews that he you know, screams at me all the time. The trauma that surrounds the trauma can be more deadly, to be real honest. And so we use the most clinical, cutting edge, trauma-informed techniques, both for moms and children. But I also recognize that if she doesn't know how she's going to feed her children tonight, if she doesn't know where she's going to sleep tonight, then we can't get into that counseling first. We want to be sure that her physical needs are met. If we think of, you know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I got to know that I can feed my kids. I got to know that, you know, I'm safe. I can sleep safely tonight. Then we can talk about your broken heart. Then we can talk about how to heal the impact of that trauma, not only for you, but for kids. You know, so many moms come to us and say, gosh, the kids were asleep. They didn't know. Oh, they know all right. They absolutely know. And so we want to, we're again, a trauma-informed response to kiddos who may be able, through their art or their play, be able to tell what they've experienced and to begin to heal from what they've experienced.
Oh my goodness. Well, Genesis sounds like a wonderful program. You know, I mean, when you say wonderful, you have to kind of rein it in as far as, you know, God, why is there even a need for a program like this? But because there is a need, you know, I know when women, because you do serve women and children, when women come out of an abusive situation, you know, getting back on your feet, they come out broke. They come out with nothing but the clothes on their back. So you did mention how long they can stay, but I mean, are there other programs like education and job training?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we know that for everyone, it's a different situation. So if you were to come in, you may have a master's in philosophy, you may be in med school, you may never have graduated from high school. So what we do, we tailor. You came in with 3 kids and I came in with no kids. But we have resources for your immediate needs. We can buy you a pair of glasses if he broke them when he hit you. We can get you to see our lawyer so that you can know, yes, it's against the law and this is what a divorce would look like. And then it's your choice to do it or not. There are absolutely resources. Maybe you need ESL. Maybe you need to, and we can connect you. And maybe you need a trade. We can connect you. Maybe you need your GED and we can connect you. So we are like my advocates, I refer to as magicians pulling rabbits out of hats, right? That whatever that client needs. And that treatment team is made up of that advocate, but also the therapist who can walk beside how it feels while she's going through this process. No, it's an amazing organization. And I don't know that I'm very smart, but the smartest thing I've ever done is surround myself with a staff that is the smartest people possible. And we do most definitely want to meet her where she is, as opposed to you have to be like this. You know, you all are not, none of you, it looks like, are as old as I am. I remember the protests and the riots and the lootings of the 60s. I was in high school or junior high or something. And I remember, as I see them again, I'm wondering, okay, what's different? Are we going to do this every 50 years or whatever? Right. The difference today is that we are having conversations. We are having conversations with people that don't look like us or have not had the experiences that we have had. I've had white privilege that I didn't even recognize was white privilege. I grew up thinking everybody could
Right.
go live wherever they wanted to live, right? I mean, I'm not being mean. I just didn't know that people couldn't, right? So we're having conversations not just about why the Black community is distrustful of police. We want to get to the reason of why they need it at all, right? We want to get to the poverty and the health issues and the lack of it. This is the first time ever we've had these kinds of conversations.
You're right.
I say the same thing about domestic violence. It's not enough to say that she is hurt, we have shelter, why didn't she get out? She did get out, we've got counseling. We need to look at the root causes of it. Why did he hit her? What kind of man beats the mother of his children? Now, I don't think he gets off the hook for that, right? But I think we can trace back to a little boy who was probably, watched his mom get beaten. Or he was passed around from foster care to foster care, or he was sexually assaulted by the pastor or the youth, the coach. I think we can find out why these men are so angry. Could we possibly work together and have conversations that would move the needle, to the victim, whether that is victim of domestic violence or victim of police brutality or victim of sexism or homophobism or racism? Could we move it to the root causes and do something about that? That's that defunding. Let's defund stuff that can make a difference in root causes,
Right, and you're right. Breaking the silence is part of is the first part. Making it okay to talk about it, to ask for help, to reach out. Silence is deadly. I mean, so it's a good thing that you guys are there. Go ahead, Tamika.
That's why we chose. For myself, I did more of the research for Genesis, is because of what they stood for and whom they help. Because if, knowing that our series Behind Closed Doors, it is about childhood trauma, going through domestic violence and sexual abuse and alcoholism. We want to be able to show how that childhood trauma molds them into adults.
Absolutely.
So that was the main premise of us doing Behind Closed Doors. Yeah. And as I stated to you, Cherie, that I also chose Genesis because of the fact of how I knew that they had more help. They help with children also in that trauma and giving counseling, because myself coming from those situations of sexual abuse and domestic violence, my mother reached out to one of those facilities that helped her along the way. Even though she returned back to the situation.
She went back differently. She went back with
pocket.
She went back with information that wasn't her fault, right?
And that's so important, because sometimes they do go back. Sometimes they want to work their situation out, and when they go back empowered. They go back knowing how to diffuse the situation or disarm their abuser in some type of way. So those things are important too. Just kind of those basic necessities of communication and getting along with people, and meeting people, like you said, meeting them where they are, and teaching them how to cope. If they want to go back, they need to know how to go back,
Cherie, you're absolutely right. And I can't believe I didn't start off with this, but every person we come in contact with, we talk about safety planning, how to de-escalate, what to do, how to have, and not just for mom, have a signal with your next door neighbor that if my porch light is on, please dial 911. But not only with mom, we have it with kids. When you are court ordered to go to dad's every other weekend, how do you protect yourself? Well, maybe have a spare cell phone or do a fire escape plan where, if the fighting starts, Sarah go out the back door and Amy go out the front door and meet across the street at the Greenbergs. Do not try to get in the middle of this fight. Those are the kinds of things that we teach so that she can survive. She and her children can survive in this.
Wow. So, well, I was told that you weren't going to be here with us that long. We have like an hour-long show, but we can take a break now and just let you reiterate, at least give out the phone number and the website, how someone might be able to contact you, and just kind of wrap it up and give us an idea of where your clients come from, what direction.
And also I want to introduce on the line as well as Amy Writing. She's my Senior Director of Community Development. And so I think they put her on there to make sure I don't make any political faux pas, which I'm about to set my hair on fire about some of the things going on, but they sort of try to filter me. But I'm doing a good well so far, I think. But anyway, Amy can also answer questions about the issue or the dynamics or the resources as well. Amy, at this point, do you have anything that jumps out at you?
Can you turn your camera on and your microphone?
There she goes.
Here she comes.
Here she comes.
Hey there.
Hi.
Sorry about that. Yeah, Jan, just to reiterate everything you said, I think the most important thing is that there is help and there is hope. So if it's not safe to call during the day, waiting until maybe he's asleep, our hotline is answered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that is 214-946-HELP is that phone number. And that's answered 24 hours a day. And also our website does have a lot of resources. So if you're just beginning to question your relationship, if you're wondering, are these behaviors, are these actions normal? It has red flags to look out for, or if your friend's going through it, what are some things you can do to help that friend? And that website is www.genesisshelter.org.
And I'm sorry, I introduced her as Director of Community Development. She's my Director of Communications. That's why it makes sense that she filters what I say.
Awesome. Well, I think that we'll probably put that number up as well at the end of our broadcast so that it can also be there for anybody who might watch the rerun. But do you have any final words? Because we're going to go and then we're going to talk about this great lip sync production that Tamika and Stormy, I heard it was your baby. Yes. So again, guys, this is Jan Edgar Langbein from the Genesis Women's Shelter. So we will put that number up. If you or anyone you know is in need of the assistance and the support that is offered by these wonderful organizations, then please don't hesitate to call. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. So nice to meet you. We look forward to hearing about the play. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So now let's talk about behind bedroom doors. This is, I mean, I wish I'd have thought of it. Honestly, so let's get into behind bedroom doors. First of all, of course, it is July the 4th. Yes. And this is a lip sync stage production.
Correct.
Yes. And it's basically the stories from behind closed doors.
Not really. It's more. Go ahead. So it's actually the stages of love, right? So the stages are.
So basically what it goes through is it shows you betrayal, forgiveness, lust, and I'm missing one, and love. So basically when you see this production, you'll see what goes on behind closed doors. And the reason for that is, you know, a lot of times people go into love thinking of this fantasy love. Oh, it's going to be great and blissful, but that's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always.
Everybody comes with baggage, you know. Everybody, when you meet them, I'm 50 years old. If you meet me, I got 50 years worth of baggage.
Correct. And so it goes pretty much in line. So you see the lust. The lust is that infatuation part where I love you. Oh, I can't get enough of you. You know, that honeymoon phase, as we call it, right?
Right.
And then when reality sets in and you see how that person really is, you have to make a determination of, do I want to stay with this person or not? And so that's where forgiveness comes in, because you have to, sometimes, you know, when I say forgiveness, people may think it's, you know, you cheated on them, they did something really bad, but it may not, it might be just the fact that this person is not the person who you thought they were. Mm-hmm. So forgiveness has to kick in on that one. Right. And then once you forgive, then you can start to love that person again. Mm-hmm. You know, where really, I won't say again, but really start knowing how to love a person, right? So that's where they come in. And then, you know, it might be some betrayal down the line. And then you have to realize what you're going to do after that. So pretty much that's the whole flow of the show. And that's pretty much what the story is going to tell. And it's
what kind of performances? We got a whole bunch of Kelly Price and
No. It's different. We have Cortez and Bowlegs who will represent our lust portion.
Oh,
yes. Okay. So they will represent that. Stormy and myself will represent the forgiveness portion.
Okay.
Then we have Tessa and Miss Essence who will represent the love portion. And then we will have First Lady and Royale. They will be representing the betrayal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So set it up for me. I mean, is this like just a lip sync show with this thing going through, or is there some, a storyline that you follow?
Yes.
Tell me about that storyline. How does it start out? No, the first part.
So the first part, you got the first bedroom, right? So basically, you have a narrator. The narrator comes out.
Wait a minute. These bedroom scenes?
Yes, bedroom scene. It's called behind bedroom doors.
And the stage will be set up. It will be set up that way. So it will be a stage. It's the location. If anyone has never been to the Rose Chapel, the best way I describe it, it looks like a smaller version of Showtime at Apollo.
Yep.
So it has the stage, and everyone is down lower, so you're looking up at an actual stage.
So it's a theater.
Yes.
Okay, that's different. Is this the first? This is the first thing of its kind that I've ever heard of. I mean, did y'all find that from somebody, or you just made it up?
She just made it up.
I made it up. I mean, it been plays before, but it's not like this. So you know,
so it's kind of like a play, musical, lip sync.
Yeah. So technically, it'd be a musical lip sync production, pretty much.
Wow, that sounds awesome.
So I want to keep it going, and eventually, I will have singers and people actually sing songs and stuff that maybe they have.
Well, keep me on the list. I can do both. I can lip sync and I can kind of sing.
Sing. Can you sing, girl? Can you sing?
Well, that's it. I can sing, but I have to sometimes. My voice is its own instrument.
Okay.
All right.
And it might not mesh with other instruments.
But hey, you can sing a cappella.
Right. That's really the best way. It honestly is. That's really the best way. I mean, this sounds like something that's really great to do, and a different form of entertainment. I mean, now with this being in a theater, is this going to meet all of the requirements?
Yes. So the requirements currently right now is 50% capacity. The location holds 250, so 125. But we want this to be exclusive and as comfortable for everyone as possible. So we only allow 60 seats. So it is very exclusive. There's food that will be served, and as well as cocktails for everyone that purchase a ticket. So it will be filmed as well. So we're just trying to do something slightly different, but in the process, reason why we had Genesis on is because a part of New Vision Media, we want to also give back. And because of behind closed doors and the premise of the actual show, we wanted to choose a shelter or an actual center that caters around, trauma for children as well. And Genesis plays a huge part in that. So part of the ticket sales will actually be donated to Genesis Women's Shelter Outreach Center. So that is why they were online, because that is what we're doing from this actual production.
And definitely a worthy cause.
Yes.
Okay, that's definitely a worthy cause. Now, I was actually asked if there is a way for others to give or donate to the shelter.
Yes, there is. So we, if they want to donate, right, if they're not going to come to the show, then they can actually send, whether it's, they can send it directly to Genesis Women's Foundation, or they can actually send it to us through New Vision Media Cash App, or they can Zelle it however they want. And what we'll do, we're sending our donations, we're doing a big check and sending it to them. Now, if they're coming to the production, of course, the ticket sales will be there, but we'll also have a container there as well, and they can drop their donations inside the sealed container, and then we will actually give that to them as well. So it's three different ways that they can be able to do so.
Okay, and I should have asked the ladies when they were here, do they take other donations like clothing, shoes?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yes, they do. So they do donations for everything. If you have household items, you have furniture, clothes, they take all of that donations because they actually have like a store kind of like, but it's nothing that they actually go in and purchase. The women and children that they help are able to go into that side of the store, and if they need things out there to help them, then they're able to get those things, those items.
Okay, so let's do a little business then. Are there any tickets left? You said you only
yes, there are tickets left. We do have some left. So they are going because once we posted, it was kind of funny how it's like a few of them just kind of like jumped off the shelf pretty quick. But yeah, we have tickets left, and they would be able to purchase. Now, once all the tickets are gone, because they are early bird. They're $15 right now. At the door, they're $20. But if all the early bird tickets are gone, then that's it. So no one will be permitted at the door.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's what we want. That's what I would want. You know.
Yes, and we also have we will have available masks. So what I did the research on, so because we're going to have food there. The only time you need to have your mask on is when you come into the building. Then when you get ready to eat, you don't have to have it on. It's just like being in a restaurant. But the only time you'll need to put it back on is if you're walking around, going to the bathroom or whatever the case may be. Now, if no one has their own mask, we will have masks there that we can provide to them. And then we'll also have a vendor that's there that will be selling custom masks.
Okay, that was my next question.
Yes, yes. So we will have a vendor there that will be selling custom masks, and then of course they can get just a regular mask from us, just if they just want a regular one. And we'll have hand sanitizer on all of the tables. So it will be very safe.
We'll also have gloves too.
Gloves as well.
People will
want gloves.
Gloves to wear.
So what's on the menu?
So we will actually have a penne pasta with the marinara sauce, and then we'll have a chicken pasta as well that will be made with egg noodles, and it'll have a salad, a really nice salad. She's a salad maker. Give me a salad. It's gonna be, if I do the salad, it's gonna be iceberg lettuce and some carrots and tomatoes, But her salad is very beautiful. So it will be a salad, and it'll also be garlic bread. And then, as I stated, there will be cocktails, so everyone will get. We will have wine, and if anyone knows me, know that I don't just drink any wine. So it will be Stella Rosa, red and white, and then
they can't get none of your blueberry.
Yeah, the blueberry will not be available. Everyone, not to be available.
Right.
But we will also have those who don't drink. We'll have tea and water,
lemonade.
So yeah.
Well, this sounds like a really nice event. Kind of next level stuff. Okay, yeah, this may be our new normal, where we can do stuff like this in smaller groups.
Right.
And but I like that anyway. I don't like large crowds. I'm a little claustrophobic.
It'll be at 6:00. It'll only last like a couple of hours because what we were doing was.
And then you can get home and go to bed.
Correct. Or if they have something to do afterwards or whatever, they can still go and do it. So we didn't want to, hold everyone down. So no, it won't be a party afterwards. Won't be any dancing afterwards. It's the production. You eat. You come in. Everyone will eat. We'll go ahead and get your food, get your drinks, and then sit down. And then the production will start about 6:45, 7:00. And once the production starts. Then once it ends, and then that's it.
Well, we will have some music, so if you want to mix and mingle, but everybody out of there by 9:00.
Yeah.
So that's a really good time. I mean, this sounds wonderful. I have an event planned for July the 4th, but if I was here, I would definitely try to be there. But this sounds like something really great, and I hope it's not your last time doing it.
No, we plan on doing some more, but I think you plan on streaming it too.
Yeah, it's gonna stream once, because that's why we video them. So we're gonna video it, and I'll put everything together, and we'll stream it. And once it's streamed, then we're also gonna have DVDs for sale as well. So
Yeah, I'm doing it. I know that's right. That's great.
Help Genesis. So.
Yeah, and that's the main thing about it. When we're doing these productions, the productions that we're doing, we're doing it because we got to try to find a way of raising money. Instead of just coming out of our pocket, we want to be able to give more money to the Genesis Center. So the best way to do it is for us to have these productions and be able to donate the ticket money to them for that.
That is so awesome. So we got any update on season 2?
We actually started filming August the 1st. Everything's in concrete. So August the 1st is the first day of our filming. All of our roles have been completely filled, all 21 of them. So
wow. So you increased your cast, huh?
Yeah, so we had 18.
The script.
Oh, wow. So how many episodes are we going to get out of that?
7.
7, okay.
And
right along.
Yes, and last season, I think our shortest episode was like 17 minutes, and we literally had to stretch it to that. This season, we didn't worry about how, what we revealed, what we didn't reveal. We actually wrote it. So each episode should be 25 minutes or more.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, like I told you before, Let's Chat Dallas, as a way to increase our content, we're going to start doing reviews on season 1. So you guys stay tuned for that. It is going to be posted on Let's Chat Dallas YouTube page. So we're going to do, a little short review on each one of the episodes. Can't wait for this to come out so we can add that to the repertoire. And I'm just enjoying our collaboration. Do y'all have any last words? We have a few minutes to go. I mean, we're not really on any time constraint.
I do want to say one more thing about the production. When you come in, we're going to have a kind of mini meet and greet. So we have a photographer on scene and we have it set up. And so it is grown and sexy. So, look sharp,
Well, that's what we need. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for some grown and sexy, something different, something a little, it's still the same thing we've been doing, but on another level, I like that.
Right. So that's what we try to do and keep it exclusive and as possible and just keep the people grown, no fighting, none of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know that the flyer, the video flyer for Behind Bedroom Doors is posted on Behind Closed Doors site. I'm sure Tamika and Stormy have it posted on their pages. It's posted on my page. It's posted on Let's Check, so you can get all the information. But just in case they don't want to do all of that, can you give us the information, where it is, what time, and how do they get the tickets?
Yes. So it's Behind Bedroom Doors on July the 4th at 6 p.m. You can get, it's going to be located at the Rose Chapel Grand Ballroom at 1519 Lipscomb Street in Fort Worth, Texas. You can get your tickets through Eventbrite. If you go to my page or any page that you can go to all the performers pages, and it's on their page. Bowlegs, Cortez, Royale, First Lady, Essence, Tessa Johnson, Stormy, myself. You can go on our pages and you can actually see the Eventbrite link, or you can just cash app New Vision Media. That's NUV as in Victor, YSION Media. Your however many tickets you want, and we will actually send you a digital ticket.
Okay.
All
right. Well, that sounds wonderful. Any last words, you guys?
Any last words? No, I want to thank you for having us on and allowing Genesis on to talk as well. Again, it is a really great cause. So I do hope that we do have others that want to donate. Please do so. It's a really great center and a great cause. And I want to thank you for allowing us to use your platform as well.
Absolutely. We love you guys at Let's Chat Dallas. And thank you guys for joining us today for today's show. We are promoting today Behind Bedroom Doors. Listen to the playback, check out the flyers, and also check us out. Check us out on our group page on Facebook, Let's Chat Dallas, YouTube, Let's Chat Dallas. If you want to email us at letschatdallas@gmail.com, and you can follow us on Instagram at Let's Chat Dallas Radio. Thank you guys for joining us and have a great evening. Bye-bye.